No, here's the thing though. The compliments and whatnot, I'm like, I can kind of live with those. What gets really annoying though is when you're in a meeting and you have your presenter or someone speaks up, they say something, right? And then instantaneously, the next 5 replies, I will bet money on this. The next 3 to 5 replies every time are, hey, yeah, you know, Spence, I thank you for what you just shared. I really, really couldn't agree with it more. I think that's awesome, and I just want to echo that. And I could not agree more. So, you know, let's keep going down that train of thought.
God, I'm pissed at you right
The
now.
next 2 people do the same thing. It's like, so you're not adding anything to the conversation. You're not.
You just want to feel included.
You want to feel included,
Yeah.
and you want to show whoever your boss is or whatever that you have the same.
You're
mindset.
actively participating
Right.
in the meeting. Yeah,
It's like you did not contribute. This was not your idea. You're doing nothing
that's what I'm
for
saying.
it.
It's just shallow babbling. That's all it is.
That's all it is. And it pisses
You know,
me
you're
off.
right. We should increase synergy in the workplace. That was an excellent point you made.
It-
And I'll leave it to Chris.
and you're exactly right. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over now.
I've been on so many Zoom calls. I have a weekly Zoom call, and my face just looks like this the whole time.
You should really just take a picture of your face.
Oh my God,
in high def
absolutely.
and just put it in front of the camera.
Just, it's a mix somewhere between disappointment and just frustration.
No, that's called inner death, Chris. That's
It's
what
go-
it is.
it's
That soul-crushing moment.
it's the just trying to figure out what life decisions you made that brought
Yeah.
you to this Zoom
See,
meeting.
here's the thing.
Do
Life-
you see any light behind these eyes? They've gone flat a long
That's
time
the thing.
ago.
I think a lot of people kind of forget that. You know that little spark that God gave you when you were born? That little glorious moment where things are happy and trees have color and smell great? Yeah, it dies when corporate hits it. Like a little fire extinguisher goes down and decimates whatever joy you have in this world.
Yeah. Now I just wake up.
That was a terrible tangent. I'm sorry, Chris.
Damn, bud.
I
That
know. That was
damn.
sorry. I look at his lifeless eyes, just kind of. It's like looking at a shark's eyes.
It's all fine in the neighborhood.
I hurt myself
So
today.
Why would you do that to yourself? Why?
Because it's true.
I'm gonna shower then shit today. That's my mood.
So much pain.
That's just
I'm
terrible.
just terribly sad.
Dude, no, I swear to God, like corporate offices are just designed to crush people's spirit.
I live like the stereotype of just a depressed divorced dad.
just Creed's always playing in the
My
background.
life is just a constant series of minor disappointments and letdowns. It's nothing terrible's happening. It's just always kind of shitty.
The one thing I look forward to is that beer I crack at the end of work. And I listen to Creed, Can You Take Me Higher?
Oh my God.
Every morning.
Well, it's like
That and Daughtry.
Daughtry.
Daughtry. Listen to Nickelback.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of What You Take. The
We're
show
all
where
so sad. So donate. Like, money makes us happy.
we've got the blue going on in the background for this episode.
Oh,
Welcome back to What You Take, the show where we talk about just about anything we can possibly think of and bring you guys
these aren't
along.
my eye drops.
Bring you guys along for the unfiltered, unapologetic ride. As always, you're gonna have myself here, Steve, my brother Chris,
Yeah, you should share the show while we examine our life choices.
and Sexy Spence.
We fucked up. At some point, we fucked up.
We're in such a bad place that we're relying on your thumbs to save us. How fucked is that?
Your clout sustains me.
How fucked is that?
This is
Just give us a topic. We're self-reflecting right now. We need distractions.
you guys are all about to see 3 grown men go into therapy in one episode. Well, the topic today is not.
They
gonna,
said go to college. They lied.
They did lie. It was a big lie.
It's a big lie.
The topic today is not going to help anyone feel better about anything. We're actually going to
You
talk
know
about
what's
the
actually
media
kind of
today.
fucked that you bring up college? I just realized that I wasn't smart enough on paper to get taken advantage of. I didn't get any college offers because I was a dumbass, and I still
And it
got,
saved you.
kinda. I still got rocked in the dome a lot, but
So today we're actually going to talk about the media.
Oh yeah.
Fuck those bloodsuckers. Like,
Yeah.
So
in
specifically,
all forms.
there was one article, I guess, kind of tying into the media. I heard about it through the media, so we're gonna loosely connect it that way. But you guys have heard of the New York City congestion fine or congestion zone, and how they're planning on having people pay to get into the quote-unquote congestion zone. Have you heard of this?
No.
I've heard of it, and talk about an overreach of power.
I would agree. So, Chris, real quick before I let Spence go off his leash here. So, the congestion zone with New York City is essentially the business district, from what I'm understanding loosely. Okay. Obviously, congestion zone, it implies, and that's where the heavy traffic is.
Yep.
Okay. That your stereotypical movie cinematic bit where everyone is elbow to elbow, bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
Nothing gets through. Okay. The lawmakers in New York City are looking at creating it, basically zoning it off, and having it be almost like a highway toll, where to get in per day, there is a charge. And there's a certain charge, a dollar amount attached to vehicles, or like to cars, to trucks, to motorcycles, whatever the case is. This is not a per month fine. This is not this is a per day payment that people have to make to get in this congestion zone. Now, here's my biggest problem with that: is this is not a vacation spot. This is the business center. This is where people go to work.
Right.
Yeah, well, so there's a couple ways I could see working around that, theoretically, is that you should charge it to businesses in the area and make it mandatory as part of their, like, employee benefits or something. So basically you would tax the businesses for its employees coming in and out of that area. I think that might work better.
Here's the problem with that, though, is how do you prove they're on business?
Employee ID cards. I mean,
Right,
there's a
but I
number
mean,
of
so
ways.
they're not gonna. It's not gonna be set up as a poll where someone's gonna go and check your damn ID card, though. They're gonna make it a sticker that goes in your windshield.
Oh, yeah.
if
No, that's the
anything.
part I don't like about it, is the fact they have cameras on you, tracking you, to see how long you've been in that region.
Right. No, I mean, I don't think it's a good way to handle it at all. But I mean, do people live in the congestion zones, or is it strictly businesses?
That I don't know, but regardless, even if you
I'm sure there's still apartments around in, like, various...
yeah, and I mean, here's the thing, right? So like, there's going to be restaurants in there.
Yep.
There's going to be social things.
Yep.
You go into work. So it's like, imagine, and some of these numbers I saw were stupid. We're not talking $2 or anything. We're talking like $23.50
Yeah.
for a car to get in, last number that I saw. So imagine every day that you drive to work, that out of your wallet, every single day, 5 days, 6 days a week, whatever the case is, you're getting charged $23.
They have changed it, though. I don't know if you heard this. They are talking about adding monthly passes now.
Oh my Christ.
Yep. And here's the part. Here's what I think it is, and this is what pisses me off. And maybe this is my little conspiratorial brain kind of kicking in, but they're actively tracking vehicles with this.
Well, they want to see what kind
Talk
of
about CCTV.
They want to see
like-
what kind of traffic is going in and out to see what kind of impact this might actually make, because their goal is to try and deter people from going into the congestion zone. Well, that's great, but not everyone has a work at home option. Or like
Right.
myself, right? I have a work at home option.
Why aren't you going after businesses not to allow more people to work from home then if you're worried about the congestion?
Right. Or, I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. Like, you live in New York City. You know that this is part of the lifestyle. If you don't want to be where the congestion is, move to fucking Alabama.
Right.
Like,
Or anywhere else in New York.
Right.
Like-
Nothing against the people that choose to live in New York City.
Right.
Nothing against the good people of Alabama. I love you all. But it's like, that's part of the life.
Share the show.
Share the show. Right. My brother-in-law lives in New York City proper. Him and his partner.
Yeah.
They don't own a fucking car. Or if
No.
I scratched that. I think they do, and they bring it out like once a month if they're gonna go outside of the city.
Yeah.
Because that's just the lifestyle.
No, you don't
Right.
really need a car.
You don't need a car.
Yeah,
So-
we had a friend. We lived with you for a little bit. He didn't get his license until he was like 36 or something.
Yeah.
Because he grew up and lived in New York, and then he moved out here.
Yeah. It was actually kind of wild.
Yeah.
And that's just it though, right? It's like, what in the literal hell is like the amount of money? Like, why don't you guys whip out your phone real quick, right? Let's even lowball that. We'll say that they cut it down by $10. Do $15 a day.
15 times 30, that is $450 a day or a month.
A month. Now we'll throw
Times
some.
that by 12.
We'll throw some weekends in there, so maybe take off $50 of that. So we'll say $350 a month times 12.
350 times 12, 4,200.
$4,200 a year just to go to work, not counting your gas, not counting your vehicle upkeep.
Yeah, I was gonna say insurance,
all the other
payments,
shit that you gotta deal with.
That's why I'm saying this should be stuck to the businesses and not to the...
They'll never touch it to the businesses.
I know, but...
I don't see how they could, though. That's my problem.
Yeah, there has to be a way to do that, and like just to stick this to each individual.
Well, I mean, like here's my thing. Now take into account taxis, Uber Eats,
Yep.
fucking deliveries. How does all that work?
How many of those do you want to bet that now your delivery charges or your service charges and whatnot,
Skyrocket.
those are all going to go up because now they've got to account for that kind of traffic.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and Chris, to your point, right, the businesses will turn around and say, well, we're not making anyone work for us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's the thing. Oh, they can choose to work somewhere else.
Correct. And are they going to increase the wages?
Then maybe in 2 years they'll be like, nobody wants to work.
Right.
Like,
Well, it's like they're not going to increase anyone's pay to help account for that for the
No.
cost of living. Absolutely fucking not. Because the CEO or whoever the hell's making the charges is often fucking...
he's gonna fly in by helicopter.
He's going to fly in by helicopter or he's just going to stay in fucking Maui
Right.
and chill for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I don't normally hop on these bandwagons, right? But this has got to be the most absurd fucking thing that I have ever heard. Absolutely
Here's my
insane.
fucking thing. I'm sorry. Like, all that tells me is this is just a cheap, stupid way to just avoid fixing the transportation issues that happening. Like
Exactly.
New York.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not even just in New York, but anywhere for that matter.
It's another example of a poor man's tax.
Yeah.
You're targeting like the working class.
Yep.
That's it.
Well,
And that's the sad part.
what about those situations, right, where you've got the person who maybe their job that is not, because contrary to popular belief, not everyone that works in New York City in the business district is white collar, right?
Right.
You've got people that make significantly below the poverty level that live in there. They can barely afford to pay their normal
The
bills.
poverty level in New York's like 80,000. Like,
Right. Well, yeah. So you've got people that already are struggling to make ends meet. What happens if you've got the kids at daycare or whatever the case is? So your normal game is you work, leave, come back in. Does that charge cover you for the entire fucking day, or are you getting blipped every time you
see,
go
that
in?
I don't know, but that's actually a concerning part too. It's
Yeah, what
like-
if you got to go back and forth? What if your fucking dog chewed something up or bit the dog walker, and now you've got to go handle that, or you got a doctor's appointment you got to go to? Are you getting hit $23 every time?
Every
three
time,
times a day?
yeah. Or
That
is
could
it-
easily hit
And now
$100.
that's the part that also leads me to the whole: how much are they actually tracking you?
Right.
That's my concern.
There is a lot of shit, and guys, I'll be the first one to say it, right? We don't have all of the facts for this, so eat me alive if you want, whatever. But it's like...
I don't think anyone's going to be defending this.
I would sure... If anyone had the gall to defend this, I would be like, what the fuck is your problem?
Yeah, like, listen here, city council. Like, I see you. Like,
Explain this simply how it makes sense.
Right.
I challenge you to explain this to me in a way that makes sense.
now, here's how they're pitching it, and this is what pisses me off. They're pitching it in the sense of, like, we're trying to reduce congestion in the roads, blah, 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 and then also simultaneously, like, oh, well, you know, people can walk and take bikes and blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, no one's wearing a three-piece business suit to head downtown,
Right.
and they're taking a bike.
This is not Hollywood.
Yeah,
that is
right.
not glamorous.
No.
That is not... I wouldn't even... My prior...
Is it only for vehicles? Can people just walk in for free?
Yeah,
That's what
you
they're
can
saying.
walk.
Because then you help to reduce the congestion, right? The traffic congestion. I wore a three-piece suit and a fucking suit when I worked back down in Florida, right? Going from the fucking parking lot or going from my front door to my car, I would sweat my dick off.
Exactly.
So I would show up to work in street clothes. That way I could sweat a little bit and then get fucking changed.
Right.
How the fuck are you going to tell people in their three-piece suits to, oh, go ahead and take a fucking bike?
Right.
Motherfucker!
That's my thing. Like, because the high congestion areas are like what you said, business sections.
Yep.
So you are literally just shitting on working people.
Yeah, the only other thing I can work around in my head is knowing that it's only allowing it allows individuals on foot or below a certain vehicle class to still enter for free, is that you then need to reroute some of New York's public transportation,
Which they won't do.
to drop off, like add bus stops like a block away or something like that, so that it's still convenient for people. Because if you're trying to reduce the number of vehicles in that area, then you need to make it accessible with a drop-off point to cut vehicles from the area or at a subway stop.
So here's my thing, though. Let me be petty about this for a second. Not that I'm already not petty about the whole fucking situation.
This is all bullshit.
But let me add this in there, right? So we've talked about a million times before that we don't care. Like when we've bitched before on previous episodes that why don't rich people do more cool shit, right? Why is there not a Batmobile?
They are very lame.
Right.
We'll get to that one later.
If you have worked your ass off to afford this awesome motorcycle that you've always dreamed of, or to afford the dream car that you finally can have now, and the way that you've been able to do that is by working in New York, working in that congestion zone, because that's what pays it, and that's how you've managed your hustle. And now you are going to have to take public transportation because to avoid paying this absurd charge. That's just not fair. Right. You're being penalized for wanting to spend your money the way that you want to spend it.
Right.
So, or like, let's talk about, put work aside. Let's talk about someone's romance life. I want to go to this place with my girlfriend. Hold on, let me factor in another fucking $20-$30 just to get into the zone.
Like I said, dude, it's a poor man tax. That's all it is. Because guess what? Rich people aren't dealing with that shit.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I guess like
I hope that there's even white collar people that are pissed about this because
I'm sure too.
I can find many better things to spend $23 on.
Oh yeah,
Chipotle. My order at Chipotle is $20-something.
That is Chipotle every day.
Like fuck off. So like Chris, I get what you're saying from the perspective of they need to put better options in play. I agree with that.
I'm operating from the premise that this is gonna happen.
It's happening.
Yeah. So if this is gonna happen, I'm trying to pitch ways to make it less catastrophic.
I think it's personally just a front so they can monitor us.
That's a
check
given.
Your pocket, dick.
I say that's a given, Spence.
Well, yeah.
What's that right next to you?
A phone.
Do you have your location services on?
I do.
Did you agree to all the Googles?
Do they know where my car is? No.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
Easily.
Nah.
Buddy, if someone wanted to find your car...
No one's finding Black Beauty. Okay? The
Buddy,
police didn't find her the 3 years I didn't have that bitch registered.
I'm gonna watch me make Spence...
They've never been looking for you.
Watch me never want to make Spence come over here again. Okay, you got your locations on your phone, correct? Mm-hmm. That's going to ping here. Okay, yeah. I've got 5 security cameras around the house.
Yes.
They can easily get into that and they can see Black Beauty.
Allegedly.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No. Okay. For the sake of argument, my point though is it's a good reason to have a bunch of additional cameras and monitoring.
To that, I absolutely agree. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
No, I know they can find you. I'm just saying it's scary how much they can track.
Well, and then make you pay for it.
That's my thing. They're tracking you and making you pay for it.
Yeah. And I think
I'm fully aware there's a satellite up there that if they wanted to could zoom in and read the fucking bug that's taking a shit on my car and it just spells fuck.
Yeah.
Like I know.
Yeah.
Like
that's and we've talked about it on the podcast before is like there's a difference between like you can't actually evade the government. And if you think you can, you're wrong. The
biggest thing is stay away from them. Like, don't be big enough to make a notice.
Yeah. The best camouflage against the government is not having them look for you. Because you could fly under the radar forever, even with all of their tracking and everything. But as soon as you do something and they can just go into like a micrometer of your life... Yeah.
No, that's my point. Now it's like rather than actively doing it, it's more of a general supervision.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the...
Because now they're telling you where to go, how long you've been somewhere.
Well, and that's just it, right? So then you take it from that perspective. And so let's say that you decide to go different places. So maybe you can't avoid the work side of it. Okay. Right. So then let's go different places for our social lives. Let's go different places for all of that. Sure, probably great for the economy for those businesses, but to your point, to some level, you are being told where you can and cannot go unless you want to pay for it.
Right.
It's all pay to play now.
Cool. You're in the downtown area. You try and order an Uber. Guess what? Oh,
that just got way more expensive now, too.
Yeah, well, now you're a bar owner who's like, nobody fucking drinks here because...
Oh, my God, yeah.
Every Uber is going to be, rather than $70, it's like $120 because some dude had to go through a congestion zone.
I mean, yeah, from here to downtown by like Prohibition, right? What's the Uber? $25?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
And honestly, it's less. I think I agree with you, but I'm going to add on to what you're saying. It is a degree of being told
Good.
where.
Don't do that corporate meeting shit.
It is being told where.
Steven.
It's being told where and how to spend your money.
Correct.
But it's also, and in my opinion, this is a blatant act of classism, because the only people who will go into that district then are the people who don't mind blowing the $23 here and there and just waving their money around. So it's going to be a bunch of snobby douchebags that run over that district.
I'm going to cut you off on that one. I'm going to disagree. I get the thought process, because then you start to have that situation from that movie, like In Time. Remember that one with Justin Timberlake?
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
great movie.
That was actually, I was just going to say, I was actually
Great
surprised.
fucking movie.
Didn't get the credit it deserved, honestly. Like, I
at the time.
rewatched that, and I was like, no, this actually really hit.
Mwah. I get where you're going with that, but I'm going to disagree with it, because in the sense that, yes, people that want to go in there or that can't afford to will, but again, you've got ma and pa shops in there, first generation immigrants or whatever the case is, that's how they make a living, by being in the middle of it and selling the best goddamn hot dogs, period.
right.
They can't afford to do it, but they're still going to have to.
Or they're going to get driven out because they can't afford to, and they're going to get bought by a bigger entity.
See, I don't know that that'll take place. Could it? Yes. I don't think that'll be the initial go, though.
No, I don't think it's going to happen immediately, but I think over time, depending on how long this goes on, you're going to create like a literal monetary fence where people of a certain social class cannot enter this area.
Well, I see. Like, I don't know about not entered. They can walk in.
Yeah.
Like, but no, I think my general thing though is like they're influencing people's actions in areas, and they're using fines essentially to do it.
I'm gonna go ahead and add another layer to this, because you bringing up that side of it just triggered something else.
Does
in my
that
head.
make like
It does?
Yeah.
It does.
No,
It does.
I'm not going crazy.
Yeah, no,
right?
I get where your head's at.
A little on the extreme side, but not crazy.
Right.
So you take in something like that with the classism, for example, right? And if you go that level of the extremism, that it's a bunch of snobby douchebags that are all dressed super nice, meanwhile everyone else surrounding it either can only walk in or they're poor and they're struggling, right?
Right.
Mix that with the video that I just showed you during pre-record.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the goddamn Hunger Games.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone out there that has not seen it yet, this is the only thing I'm going to make about our current president and commander-in-chief. If you look up the Nutcracker performance or the Christmas show that was done with inside the White House in the midst of everything else that's going on, it literally looks like a performance from Capital City in the Hunger Games.
Somebody do we should do a side-by-side YouTube.
Someone did.
Someone did?
There is. Look it up later. It's already there.
We're getting there, gentlemen. We're getting there.
So when
but
we-
no, like back to the new thing though. Here's my thing. Like, there's so many side businesses that get affected by this.
Yes.
Amazon package delivery, FedEx, UPS.
If
Then
they fuck with my wife's Prime,
that's what
we
I'm
are going to
saying.
have issues.
Yeah, right.
Well, we don't live in New York, so but
fair. But like, now those are gonna have additional charges. Then on top of that too, you got freaking service companies. Imagine being a plumber who works in a big ass building.
Oh my Christ.
Now you gotta park your car out there. Imagine that shit. Like, I'm telling you, dude, this is some bullshit. It's just a way for the city to snag more money so they can fix nothing.
Yeah.
I think it's all about monitoring, personally. I think they need to justify why they fucking track people's cars and
100%.
their coming and goings, and they're making us pay for it. I hate it. Pisses me off.
I'm curious to see what'll happen long term. Like, so New York's obviously the first place, but then does that get implemented somewhere like California? Does that
LA
get put
is
in
going to
somewhere-
implement. If it works in New York, it's going to work in LA.
You know what I'm saying though? Like,
Yeah.
holy crap, man.
That's my thing. Now we're going to have serious issues. And
Yeah,
it's going to be
because
like,
everybody else thinks that's a good idea.
yeah. Now all of a sudden it's going to start popping up all over.
Yep.
Like, remember how pissed off you used to be about the tolls down in fucking Illinois?
I'm still pissed off about
Thank
the tolls in
you.
Illinois.
I hate when I hit those things. I'm like, oh fuck! Like,
Try
there's
driving
20
from
bucks
here to fucking Sarasota, Florida.
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, no, but at least with them, it's like you can avoid them, but it's like
It's a pain.
and it's just a highway. It's
Correct.
not. Oh, I'm sorry. So all I'm hearing is like you failed at designing the city properly for the population,
Right.
and now we have to pay for it.
Correct. I wouldn't even say failed to design the city, because back in the day it worked. It hasn't changed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
They haven't
failed
been-
to update.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
It has not.
Whether it be better public transportation, new subways, like there's so many other options, and their whole thing is like take money from them and they'll fix it.
It has not adapted well. I agree, and especially when you've got
It's lazy planning.
transportation options out there. I mean, like Musk has his boring tunnel project that he's working.
Yeah.
I want trains.
Trains, bring the fucking trains back, man.
I'm telling you, why can't we have a bullet train from one side of the country to the other?
I think
Both ways.
I thought it was being talked about, actually.
They are taught. Why is it taking so long?
Well, because they've got to go ahead and redo everything again. They've got to get new.
Do you know how cool? Like with those trains, dude, I could be in LA in 2 hours.
Here's the thing, like, even if you didn't go the route of the bullet train necessarily, and you just took the train system and brought it back up, gave them a nice facelift,
Yeah.
make it an experience again, I would do that all the live long fucking
Oh,
day.
you're talking the classic route.
Yeah.
Like, freaking,
Like
you
a
sit
3-day
down,
train
someone
ride?
serves you like a martini.
Fuck
and
yeah,
like,
dude. We went
They do
to-
those in the mountains, and I want to do
Dude,
one.
we took the girls to like the National Train Museum a couple of times, and they have the trains that you can walk in there and you
They're
can
like
see like the
sits?
different. Yeah, I'm like, I looked at my wife and I was like, I would travel.
It's like
this
booths in a
way.
restaurant.
Yeah, I would travel this way all fucking time, all the fucking time. This is amazing.
They
And the
do those
kids
a
would
lot
love
in the
it.
mountains, and in Europe, you can take those classy
It's
trains.
wonderful.
Like,
Could you imagine going through like Colorado or
No, I'm
somewhere where
poor.
snow? Well, that's fair. Could you imagine looking out and you see like snowy mountaintops and then you
Head
get
back to the bar cart and have a smoke.
fuck yeah, dude.
yeah, cigar, martini, and you watch the landscape change as you go across. Like, dude,
Let's bring some fucking class back.
And then
you know what I've always wished took off that
And
never
then
does?
put some blues in the background too.
put it. Well, and yeah, just have Wi-Fi on the train.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then if you get sleeper cabins, just put a little TV in there.
Yeah. No, actually, what I was gonna say, oh shit, what was I gonna say? Fuck, and it's gone. It'll
Well-
come back to me later. Who
Well,
knows?
here's what we're gonna do. Believe it or not, gents, we're actually at time for this episode.
Really?
That went fucking
that actually went real fast.
fast.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Political.
go ahead and wrap this one up here, guys. In the comments, go ahead and put your thoughts on this congestion issue or anything else that's similar to that, because we went on a different tangent than usual. As always, make sure that you're sharing the show. Make sure if you're watching or if you're listening on Spotify, hit the description, look down, and you should see a button that says support the show. Anything that you want to throw our way towards
Zeppelins.
snacks. Zeppelins. Oh, he wants to bring the blimps back.
I want to bring the blimps back.
Okay, listen. You let me know how that goes.
Floating luxury.
You let me know how
Fucking
that
A,
goes
dude.
with all the spy balloons that are up there right now.
I'm just saying.
Until next time, guys.